world is concept of thought processes. Now we are talking about this emergence economy like knowledge power, knowledge economy. We are talking about emergence of new ideas, empowerment of entrepreneurship, empowerment of leadership. In this all concepts, it has become multipolar than monodirectional. So we have entered the concept of fourth wave economy. It is not about the first wave, what we had, and second wave and third wave services sector. We are talking about extrasensory perception, ESP. The future of this country, the future of the empires is going to be the empires of the mind. It's not about the brick and mortar. It is not about the big manufacturing facilities. It is about the mind. Mind is going to rule the world. And this is what this information technology and the concept of information which has changed. Even today, if you read Times of India, 7 days of news information of Times of India would have been possible for 100 years in those 19th century. And this in 1 week, you get so much of information. The information is doubling every 7 days. It is not like 30 years and 100 years it was doubling. So it is about the ideas, it is about ideologies, it is about thought processes. So can the mind be preoccupied and can you connect? Imagine in your own life, you have 60 years of productive life to live. And these 60 years, 500,000 hours of yours is available, not utilized by many of them. I see all these areas where the two things which I observed in my life, why are those people who always initiate end up gaining more than the people who hesitate? There are people who always say that it is not possible, I cannot make it. There are two kinds of people. Some say that I cannot make it. And they say, no, they don't have a vision, they have a plan, they don't have a mission. And the second type of category say they try to settle down lesser than what they deserve in life. They say, I can't do attitude. So it so happened, two youngsters just passed out of Harvard school and they entered the taxi in the downtown street in Boston. And the taxi driver was seeing them very enthusiastic and they were driving toward the downtown street. And these two boys were so happy from the convocation ceremony that they have got a degree from Harvard University and what an extraordinary achievement in their life, and they were effusively talking and they're very happy. Then this taxi driver just looked back and said, are you Harvard graduates? Yes, 2010 batch Harvard graduates. This boy said, and he just put his hand and shook his hands with them and said, I'm 1964 Harvard graduate. So it is not about the academics or maybe your degrees which frame your life. It is about the attitude. So don't wait for recognition. Don't wait for recognition. People I have always seen, they have waited for the recognition. I saw my country when I was very young at the age of 13, 14 in the kind of educational system which was set up. India had that concept of education system of school, colleges. And I found that it was total monotonous and it was completely repetitive and passed the examination which is existing even today. And that is where I think the thought process came to my mind when Swami Vivekananda said that character is important and the thought processes are very important. That one inspiration for me changed the whole outlook. And one senior gentleman gave one statement to me. Your willpower, your determination and your resoluteness of purpose can make the impossible possible. I realized that my guru used to tell me that make people stand on two legs. Well, what do you mean by two legs? Am I a donkey? No. If they are educated, they will get a good job. They are going to take care of their family. They talk in simple languages. They will not beat the children. They will not beat their wife. They are not going to drink. So if education is there, they will stand on their legs. So educate them. So great saints talk in a simple languages. So when Narayan Murthy ji was talking today, you would have observed one point. He said build processes and system, build people, build smart leaders. You know how much of time you have with you and how much time he has got with him. He has also got 24 hours. You also got 24 hours. Obama also has got 24 hours. Dr. Manmohan Singh also has got 24 hours, 1440 minutes a day. 150,000 people working with Infosys. Narayan Murthy took the initiative. Why are those people who take the initiative end up gaining more than the people who don't even hesitate? Those people who hesitate to take, it is impossible. He gave a simple idea. 150,000 people, if they are working 8 hours a day for Infosys, imagine 150,000 into 8 if you multiply, is equivalent to 12 lakh hours a day. And your whole life is not beyond 5 lakh hours of productive hours for an individual. And if you are an entrepreneur, if you have 10 people, 80 hours of work in a day you are doing. So imagine the thought process itself is so simple, no complication is required. Only common sense is required and that spirit is required, what Murugesh Nirani expressed, that I didn't give up. I used to come from Goa to a tractor to save the driver's cost so that I can bring and save the taxes. The only thing is saw the opportunity. In this word, yesterday, when you talk about yesterday, there is nothing in yesterday, it is gone. And today there is one O, which alphabet O stands for opportunity. And tomorrow there are 3 O's which stands for 3 opportunities. The concept is very clear. If Narayan Murthy ji, Infosys, Wipro, or maybe General Motors, or top Fortune 500 companies who have dreamt and visualized this concept in 20-25 years, if they can do, they are exactly doing 12 lakh hours of work in a day. 12 lakh hours of work in a day. And his whole life is equivalent to only 2 to 3 lakh productive hours. And imagine if you network with people of 1,50,000 to your thought processes, the economy has to grow. The economy has to grow. The economic empowerment is the state of mind. It is not that we need any jargons or you need any techniques. I didn't have any techniques in my young age, neither I had any language to speak. I learnt English at the age of 39. It was not that. It took only 47 days for me to learn English. Mug up any 10,000 words, any languages in the world you can speak in 27 days. You need just to have 5,000 words in your mind. 5,000 words you mug up, look at the thesaurus and then speak from your heart, and that is there. It works like a magic. So it is all mental blocks in our mind. When I told you that one cell is equivalent to one encyclopedia, the infinite riches are all around us. If you open your mental eyes and behold the treasure house of infinity within you, there is a gold mine within you from which you can extract everything you want to live life peacefully, happily, gloriously, abundantly, richly. But they don't realize that. So there are no barriers, my dear friends. And one of the friends was in morning was asking Narayan Murthy a question that if employees in an organization, in 5-10 people, if they leave and go away, how it is possible to retain the talent? It's nothing. I have a simple formula for all of you. It is my tested trial method. It has worked very well. You pamper that employee so much, after 5 years, he is unfit in the world for next 10,000 years. He has to stay with you. He has no choice. Get married to him. You pamper him so much. So I have 4,000 people in Jain Group of institutions. I have 75 leaders from the scratch, from ordinary people, they have become extraordinary. From nothing you can do extraordinary things. Your individual attributes plus acquired attributes into A is equivalent to IHP, individual human performance. The formula is very simple. I picked up ordinary people in my group and made them believe that you are the genius, you are an extraordinary and you can do it. And 5-7 years, give them entire empowerment and powers, pamper them so much like you pamper your children at home. And finally, after 6 years, if they go and work in some midget organization where the organization where is bureaucracy, he or she will be in an Andaman Nicobar Island jail. It's better give them that freedom and then pull the reins slowly and then tell them perform, my dear friend. Now you have no choice. After he gets a brand image of 10-15 years and then is unfit anywhere, it's better he stays there and exists in that organization and build that organization for life. So that is the power of thinking. It doesn't require any extraordinary management skills. You don't require any PhD or doctorate for it. And Harvard graduate is driving a taxi because he didn't have a vision, he didn't have a plan. So it is about you, my dear people, it's work. So there are 3 types of formula which works. 3% of the people, why out of 800 crore population in this world, why only 1% of the people list the top achievers in this world? Why only 1% or 3%? So 3%, the formula works very simple, worked very simple for me in my young age. 3% people are entrepreneurs or creators or risk takers or uncertainty principle. Entrepreneurship is something like uncertainty. Even today, Infosys has to change because there are going to be small companies which are going to outbid the big companies. It is like barbell-like structures, the young one mind. So I told you, the umpires of the future is the umpire of the mind. Millions and millions of ideas. Time is very short for me to even talk for 15-20 minutes. I need a platform from morning 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And these people who are here, if they don't multiply their businesses 100 times, my name is not R. Chenraj Jain. And it is my firm belief it works like that. From ordinary people, how can they do it? I picked up one ordinary girl from my free school, Jain Vidya Niketan. The concept was very clear that 12 lakh hours is equivalent to 240 years in one day you can live. Can you believe that? Have you ever thought of it? You have got 8,760 hours. I have not read any books or whatever it is. I don't even believe in books. I believe in action. I believe in... If you know anything and if you are not able to apply that, what's the use of that? Unless getting into confused into a lot of reading and unless you get into the real life situations and understand yourself and take the cue out of the people. It works like a magic. So it is applying. So willingness is not important. Action is very important. So when 3% are entrepreneurs, 14% will be knowledge force. CEOs, vice president, managing directors of the bank, or maybe all at big positions. 14%. 83% is a skilled force. Work backward integration. It works like a magic. When you have when you know that you want to be an entrepreneur, already you are an entrepreneur, you have put your leg into the entrepreneurship. It's a concept of entrepreneurship, 99% of 9% of your time, even after 20 years, you think that you are going to fail. You are going to fail because the concepts are changing, adaptability, and you have to come out of it. When you have good people around you, I told you one formula of pampering, but at the same time, you should have a plan, you should have a vision, you should have a goal. Sitting in Hubli, you can rule the whole world. You don't require to be in Bangalore or Calcutta. You can be at home. When the mind is an empire, that connectivity works. So 83% should. Henry J. Kaiser was an extraordinary example. He was an ordinary child among 14 members of the family. In those days, nothing was possible. And he went on and on for 35 years. And in one age, when the World War took place in 1939, this man said, I am going to build ships. Now, it's a crazy idea to think to build ships when he himself is working from 25 years, but he didn't give up, he built his goodwill. So, in 10-20 years of your hard work, you develop your skills, you develop your goodwill, you develop your integrity, you develop your image, you develop your brand image, and your brand image becomes very important. And then the world will definitely come to you. And this man at the age of 39, only one thing he had, that all the people in that community liked him because he is a man of words and he used to work 16 hours a day, and he developed that goodwill. 25 years only he developed that goodwill. Then he said, I'm going to build 1,500 ships. No money, no bank balance, no people. He said, okay, I'll call for an impossibility conference. This word impossible is I am possible. It is not impossible. So we have to read it, I am possible. This man said, I'll call for conference with the senior people of the village who are retired, and at impossibility conference in the morning, 2 senior gentlemen and 2 senior ladies came out with a simple idea, let us repair the ships. And he had that goodwill with the bankers and all, they gave him a small loan, he started repairing the ships, and within 5 years he built 1,500 ships. Now that should be the power of mind, that should be the power of imagination. So my dear friends, this is what I would like to share with you all, lot of things. One concept which I always believed is that social entrepreneurship, and I have incubated a lot of companies, 60 to 70 companies, and they are giving jobs to more than 6,000 people, and I have given them a target of 6 lakh jobs in next 10-15 years, but they have to start small. In 20 years, 20 years you should scale up in a such a way that it automatically, once you build a team, it works like a magic. So you follow 3 levels of leadership, my dear friends. The first level of leadership is you. You are going to open your shop, you are going to open your business, you have planned your business, everything you do it. You do the accounts, you do the PR, you do the activity, you meet people. Narayan Murthy went personally to sell his products to the US, they came back, they sat down. So you do for 5-7 years, you keep on experimenting with your ideas. And the second level of leadership, build your people around you. 4-5 core people. Even let it be a small organization. I am not talking about any big organization. A small organization. 4 or 5 people, you build them, and at third level of leadership, you take a back seat and allow them to come out with better ideas, and you unlearn and start learning again. You follow these 3 levels of leadership, you have to grow big. No power on the earth can stop you from becoming an achiever. And for that, a vertical, what you have decided to develop a vertical, for 2 hours of your general knowledge on that particular subject, if you can get deep into that, for 15 years, if you invest that 2 hours, is as good as 20,000 hours you have invested, and you become a genius there. So finally, to conclude, one girl I picked up from my free school, Jain Vidya Niketan in Kanakpura Taluk. Murgesh Nirani ji has seen that school. She passed out of 10th standard, and then she came up to 12th standard, and I brought her to Urban City, Jain College, and she failed in 3 subjects. I asked her, what's the reason you got 95% marks in Jain Vidya Niketan? Sir, alli protected environment ittu, alli principal plus ನಮ್ಮ ಅಲ್ಲ ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲ ಆಲ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈಸಿ ಇತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ ಅರ್ಬನೈಸೇಷನ್, ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನೈಸೇಷನ್, ಅವ್ರ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಒಂದು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಡವ್ರ ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ಚೂಡಿದಾರ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಶೂಸ್ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ನೋಡಿ ನೋಡಿ ನಮಗೆ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬೇಜಾರಾಯಿತು. ಐ ಮಿಸ್ ದಟ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ, ಐ ಫೇಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ 3 subjects. ಸರ್, ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್, ನಾವು ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಎನ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರನರ್. ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ, ವ್ಯವಸಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ. ದಟ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ who I picked up in the road when she was begging, she passed with all the marks. 12th standard she fails in a science subject, getting 95% marks. She comes and stands in front of me for 15 days non-stop. Give me a job. Well, what job you will do? You have failed in the examination. I just wanted to test her. She said, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಲ್ಕ್ ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ಮಿಲ್ಕ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ₹1 ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಕೊಡಿ ನಮಗೆ. I said, okay, you go to my manager, and he took her another 20 days. She didn't give up. Now, not giving up itself is one of the biggest asset of a human wealth, what God has given us, that gift. And she got the order of 100 liters. She went on, and today she is earning 10 lakh rupees a month. She has given jobs to 300 people. Without single investment, she has become an entrepreneur. And she is doing her BBM degree now, correspondence. and she's going to do her MBA also. And she got married at the age of 17. Her spirit didn't die. Her husband and she started learning the car. She keeps the child in her boogie bag and she travels and supplies everything to Toyota, to Kirloskar. She says, Jain International School, Nali supply Martha, the brand. She used that platform. She went to Art of Living. She went to Toyota. She started 2 petrol bunk. And now she has come back to me and says, Namatra 3 koti duddide. I want to start a school with you. 50% free, 50% charges in Biddi. And she's just 23-year-old. So imagine an ordinary person can do extraordinary things. That's why I told you your IA, individual attributes you have got, these do's and don'ts comes to your mind. If you are 16 hours focused in whatever you are doing, where is the question of do's and don'ts? We didn't have any grounds in Jain group of institutions, but we have produced most international sportsmen, Robin Uttappa, Pankaj Advani, world champion. Only we used to tell them, when are you going to become a champion? You don't come to the college. If you come to the college, we'll penalize you. You just practice billiards, you practice cricket, you practice. We have sent 4 people to Olympics. Jain group has sent 4 people to attending Olympics. Though they would have been top 20 in the world, but I'm sure 2 gold medals from Jain group can happen. And we started a college I started a college in 100 by 150 site in a ordinary place. And today in that place we have produced world champions. It is all about attitudes and beliefs. It's all about sharing and exchanging. It's all about bonding. And a little small thing it starts and it works like a magic. One project like VLCC Wellness Center, which started with one wellness center, but they were focused, and today they are talking about 400 crores equity infusion in that. So the concepts of education, there are a lot of professors, there are a lot of jargon, every expertise is available in the world. You just need to be expert to yourself that you are not going to give up for 16 hours a day. And come what may, you are going to face the challenges and adversities, and you will face the world come what may. I choose the route of human asset. I didn't choose the corporate route. If I had chosen a corporate route, definitely I would have been a corporate leader in my own areas. What I would have thought my area was textiles in those days. I became salesman at the age of 13. I didn't want to continue my education. Not that I was not intelligent, but I didn't want to continue the education. I wanted to be a free bird. My parents supported me. And I used to run 16 kilometers only to save that 50 rupees a month so that I can watch a movie and with that money, because I was interested in movies in those days, youngsters. So I used to save that money. So that became a physical discipline. So it is all about individual, yourself. And rest automatically the connectivity will happen, and if you inspire, automatically they'll sell. A Chinese person you meet, you smile at that Chinese person will smile. The rules is very simple. You don't need to have any languages for that. All the words, whatever you speak, it doesn't go beyond 13%. And after all my talk, if it is recorded, maybe 1 or 2 points you will hear. By 13 days, you'll forget everything. Whatever the speakers have spoken, including Murugesh Nirani and Narayan Murthy ji. It is you are most important to yourself. So don't get bored about yourself. Look at the mirror and say that same Gautam Oswal, same this person, same Murugesh, and will you change your face? You cannot change your face. Go for plastic surgery. Same mother, same father, same employees. And if you get bored of that, then automatically that come. And concepts, vision, ideas, ideology, expertise, networking. This is the power mantra today because of knowledge economy, knowledge power. And that can happen through the power of networking. So I'll conclude with 7 principles, my dear friends, which I believed always, that you harness your potential. You do only 1/10 of your work in your original thought and process. If you harness your potential, you are amazed at your results. Number 2, if you persevere hard and push on and hang on long enough. That girl persevered, pushed on, hanged on long enough and stood with me, and she got the order, and today she is talking about some very big, and I'll not be surprised, he's going to open a supermarket store in 10 years, like Oshin in Japan, from a child laborer, she built 87 chain of supermarkets. There are extraordinary number of case studies. Your Fortune 500 companies, out of that 80% people have not even taken up their schooling education. Dhirubhai Ambani was another classic example where I was acquainted with him because I was a dealer of Reliance Industries. He gave me a target. Mr. Jain, Chenraj, you are a youngster. I should open 1,000 counters in 3 years. 600 counters in 3 years. I did it in 47 days. And he gave me a bonus of 25 lakhs rupees check. And only one thing he gave a pat, that if this boy can do it, why are you all cribbing? So we human being has a nature of cribbing nature, and we start comparing with others. And we stop comparing with others and we look at ourselves and then take the strengths of others. In your organization, there are going to be employees who have a lot of weaknesses. Look at their strengths. This one more mantra I'll give you all. This is what I saw in all my people. I only see their strengths because I have thousands of weaknesses. So where is the question of HR policies and all? Fine. It should be a motivational atmosphere. So 5-member organization can become 5,000 organization. A library person who was having a library sciences, I gave him some 100 ideas. I met one young lady, one of the organizers, Mr. 1 second, I'll finish. I met one person, that lady I told, nutritionist and diet, how you can build your model of business model. I gave her 3-4 ideas. So it works like a magic, my dear friends. So the concept is your potential, your perseverance, your dream, your simple ideas which can make a magic, and your networking, your focus, and your time management. 8,760 hours. Have 10,000 people or 5,000 people, multiply their 8 hours into your, because you have initiated. You have to become a super entrepreneur, and you have to become a superman, and the ball is in your court. Thank you very much.